Hey everyone! Welcome back! Hope you're all doing well, wherever you are around the world. We're honored to have you here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Wow! It's been a week since Iran launched a series of scattered attacks on Israel. And honestly, they've shown they weren't bluffing when their leader said they wouldn't back down or surrender after what Israel did before. The damage across key areas in Israel is getting worse every day due to Iranian missile strikes. People are being evacuated to refugee camps, and almost everything in the cities has basically come to a halt because of how bad the destruction is. The Israeli government is even stopping journalists and citizens from sharing footage or images of the damage. But it's not just Iran. Other resistance groups are also joining in, standing beside Iran to attack the country. Under Netanyahu's leadership, Israel has been hit from different sides using various deadly weapons. Just yesterday, Iran's missile strike hit several critical targets, one of the biggest being the Tel Aviv stock exchange, known as Houthis. Reports say the exchange took heavy damage. That strike showed Iran's ability to hurt Israel not only militarily but also financially, hitting Houthis, which is a major symbol of Israel's economy. Houthis was founded back in 1953 and is Israel's main stock exchange, based in Tel Aviv, Yabok. It lists over 470 stocks, 900 corporate bond series, over 200 government bond series, and more than 1,200 mutual funds. Its market cap is around $216 billion in equities and $196 billion in bonds. Around the same time, a hospital in Beersheba was also reportedly hit by an Iranian missile. Iran's military said they were actually targeting a military site near Soroka Hospital. Iran hasn't really targeted hospitals before, but this time, they also issued warnings and threats about new types of missiles they plan to use. Reports say more than 400 Iranian missiles have been successfully launched toward Israeli territory so far, overwhelming the Iron Dome system. One of these latest missiles is said to be deadlier than anything they've used before. On Thursday, June 19th, Iran fired at least one ballistic missile carrying a warhead with multiple submunitions. That missile was part of a wider attack that caused major damage across Israeli lands. Ballistic missiles like this, loaded with ground-based munitions, add extra challenges for Israel's defense systems, especially in the final phase before impact, when interception is hardest. Experts are now talking about what they think is Iran's newest missile, the Khurasmar 4, or possibly Kibar. Many analysts have warned about this missile, saying it's one of Iran's most advanced long-range ballistic weapons. It can travel up to 2,000 kilometers, carry a 1,500-kilogram warhead, and includes an aerial haute guidance system, which reportedly gives it high accuracy, up to within 30 meters, without needing terminal guidance. Supposedly, this guidance tech helps it avoid getting shot down by enemy defense systems. At the same time, alongside these missile attacks, Iran also launched a wave of drones. On top of that, there are reports that the Houthis, Yemen's Iran-aligned group, launched a hypersonic ballistic missile that targeted several sensitive military and civilian sites around Tel Aviv. Other reports say the Houthis used Palestine-2 missiles in their strikes, which hit the Jaffa area in central Israel. The Houthis have long shown support for anti-Israel resistance movements. Their leaders recently reaffirmed full support for Iran and warned that Israel's aggression is dangerous and that regional forces must unite to stop it. On another note, there's a rising controversy about an attempted Israeli strike on the Houthis in Yemen. Israel reportedly tried to assassinate military commander Mohammed Gamari, but he survived. That attempt only made the Houthis angrier and more determined, raising concerns that the conflict between Iran and Israel may expand further with the Houthis involved. And honestly, Israel isn't a new enemy for the Houthis. They've hit key Israeli sites before. Back in early May, they launched a ballistic missile that landed near Ben Gurion Airport, killing at least 11 people. The missile had devastating consequences. It damaged roads and vehicles and brought all air traffic to a complete halt. Things got so bad that authorities had to temporarily shut down all airport entrances and stop train services to the area. Sirens went off across central Israel, and that pushed a lot of people to move to safer places. Shortly after, the Israeli army confirmed that its defense system had failed to intercept the missile, despite several attempts. As a result of the missile strike, 8 people were reported injured. As part of the so-called axis of resistance, Iran has continued launching missile and drone attacks on Israeli territory ever since the Gaza war began, especially after the major escalation on October 7, 2023. And Iran hasn't only fought on land, it's acted like a power at sea too, targeting Israeli-linked ships as part of its resistance. Hamas recently commented on the ongoing situation between Iran and Israel. They said Iran is now paying the price for years of supporting armed groups in Gaza. After Israel launched its first strike on Iran on June 13th, Hamas leaders confirmed they would fully support Iran, just as Iran has supported them, both financially and militarily, especially during the full-scale war between Hamas and Israel back in October 2023. Not long after the Houthis got involved, Hamas also launched several operations targeting Israeli soldiers. On June 16th, the military wing of Hamas, Al-Qassam Brigades, said their fighters carried out a joint attack that managed to cripple an Israeli infantry unit in southern Gaza. According to Palestine Chronicle, the Israeli unit had taken shelter inside a house at the time, but Hamas forces hit them with anti-personnel rockets, leaving the soldiers inside with no way to escape. There were also reports that an Israeli soldier was shot by a Qassam sniper near Khan Yunis from a position in Sana'a. Previously, Hamas had pulled off a deadly ambush in the Jabalia area, which was described as one of the worst attacks Israeli forces had faced in Gaza in recent weeks. Reports said 3 Israeli soldiers were killed and 2 others seriously injured after their Humvee hit an explosive device. The soldiers were apparently part of a convoy that was escorting a fire truck during a nighttime operation. Hamas also claimed that an Israeli rescue helicopter failed to evacuate the wounded due to the ongoing missile threats. Soon after, the Israeli army confirmed the soldiers had been killed in successful Hamas operations, adding to the growing list of Israeli soldiers who have died, which now reportedly stands at 432. But Hamas hasn't only been targeting soldiers. They also went after Israeli-owned vehicles using pre-rigged explosives. In another case, the Al-Quds Brigade ambushed Israeli troops in Shuja'iyah, east of Gaza City. Their engineering unit reportedly used a mix of explosives, including ones left behind by Israeli forces and custom-made charges. At that time, 2 vehicles carrying Israeli soldiers were destroyed, in a way that mirrored the earlier attacks that have become familiar in this ongoing conflict. Hamas now seems to have multiple methods and plenty of experience in targeting critical areas across Israel. Their ability to quickly read and respond to the evolving situation shows just how far they've come in developing effective attack strategies. On another front, all eyes are now on Hezbollah, as many wonder, will Hezbollah join forces with the Houthis and Hamas in direct resistance against Israel? Even though Hezbollah's stance seems clear, diplomatic pressure from the United States and France, plus warnings from French President Macron, seem to have made the group cautious. Any move from Hezbollah risks dragging Lebanon into a bigger war with Israel, especially if the United States backs Israel again, possibly even more aggressively than in past conflicts. Still, even though Hezbollah hasn't taken open action yet, there are rumors that it's planning something big behind the scenes. Some say Hezbollah is ready to seize Israeli territory if Iran manages to launch a deeper offensive. These claims haven't been fully verified, but they're being taken seriously. Meanwhile, as the tension keeps rising, public opinion has also started focusing on Hezbollah's past relief efforts in Lebanon, particularly after the 2006 Israeli invasion. Back then, Hezbollah reportedly gave families between $10,000 and $12,000 in aid. The group's jihad brigades also helped rebuild damaged homes and restored key infrastructure. So why is this being brought up now? Because it's being compared to what Israel is offering its own citizens after recent attacks. Reports say the Israeli government only gave out 500 shekels, which is about $143, to people whose homes were damaged by the Iranian strikes. That sparked public frustration, especially among those who expected more support from their government. The contrast was stark, and people noticed. And that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow X News, like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next